And we're live.
Yo. And
we're live. I was not ready, but now I'm ready. I'm here.
Oh my God.
I'm here on the Daily Motion Show. Are you here on
Welcome to the Daily Motion Show. I'm
That's
here on the
crazy.
Daily Motion Show, ready to motion daily.
Wow. Thank
What's
goodness. That is perfect.
Yo.
We're gonna do all sorts of fun things today. Oh my God. Noah Tram in the chat. Welcome.
Welcome. Roy Boy Shaw.
How you doing? What's
Howdy.
poppin'?
Hello.
We're doing something a little bit different today. I wish there were a way to pin messages in the YouTube chat. I'm probably just gonna have to send this link a bunch of times. But we're gonna chat about a couple different things, and then we're gonna review people's work because we talked about that yesterday, and so we're just gonna do that today. So we've got a form that everybody can submit to. Form is actually down in the description next to the like and subscribe buttons. So if you want to do that, that's there. Otherwise, I'll be posting it in chat later alongside the stream. But we will just be looking at people's work in a wee while, in just a wee while. But in the meantime, what the hell are we gonna chat about today? Great question.
Just chilling.
We're gonna talk about. Oh, Barbara's typing a response to my roast. Good luck. Is all I have to say about that. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the inferred easiness of creative and especially technical tasks when they're done really well. Our philosophy around working quickly. Then we're going to be reviewing everybody's work and looking at our recs of the day. Yesterday was a pretty packed show, so we got a somewhat easier show this morning so that we have more time to review people's stuff. Any hoosers. Let me get some music going. But in the meanwhile,
how do you work quickly? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I was going to say that.
First time catching the stream. What's up, Nick M? Hello, everyone.
Hello, Nick M. Welcome, Bastion.
Hello.
Olgierd, glad to see you. Is this meme day? Is this meme day? Do we get meme day?
I hope so.
We got to be memeable today, all right?
Oh, ready? I can be memeable.
There's something.
That's a silly face.
Ooh, that's got to be worth something, right? I'm holding.
Maybe I need better lighting on my face.
Mayhaps. I'm just so photoshoppable.
You are very photoshoppable.
With my lighting on me. Anyway, how do we work fast? A great question that everyone asks all the time, including myself. And I'm here to answer it, finally. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
I know. What are some things that I know that we specifically block out various things that we would normally think of as creatives during the process in order to speed things up a little bit faster. Number one enemy that we encounter, the imposter syndrome monster. That's what we say.
I hate to see it.
When we're filming stuff now, I just assume Jackson's going to edit things, so I forget that when I do this, there won't just be punching sound effects added, but that's fine. Anyway, so the imposter syndrome monster's there. What's another one we got? We've got the industry monster. Ooh, scary. Trying to match up to some of the work that we look up to, that sort of stuff. And what's another one? Ooh.
Like just getting in a creative funk, not really knowing like what to do, or
that's
not
a
really
good
feeling
one.
Inspired by anything.
The beach monster. All right, these are three monsters.
Beach monster.
That's it. The making the sandcastle on the beach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then there's another one. All
right.
There's one more. Those are three. The other one is I just had it and I lost it when I had to explain the beach thing. Shucks. It'll come back to me. Don't worry. I'll get it.
We got beach monster. We got imposter.
We got industry monster. Oh, and we got advertising monster. And we're going to explain what all four of these things are. Ooh, Nels says the lazy monster. That's a good one too, but I just kind of don't be that. I just kind of conquered the lazy monster a while ago, so I don't really recognize that one as much anymore. But A good one nonetheless. We'll talk about that one too.
We got 5 monsters.
5 monsters. We could also call them the Infinity Stones of pain and suffering for a creative, I guess. All right. Which one do you want to start with first?
Let's start with imposter.
All right. You don't think you can do it. You don't think that you can do the thing that you're getting paid to do or that you're making for yourself. You don't think you're good enough for it.
1, you're wrong, and 2, it doesn't matter.
3, and to point 2B, it doesn't matter because if you have any sort of consistency and frequency with the work that you're creating, you can alleviate a lot of that pressure on feeling like, well, am I good enough to do this? Like, there is no good enough when you get to post something else or make another piece of work or something a short time period after what you're currently making, you know? Time boxing yourself like that is a super easy way to make sure that, like, oh, well, I can take some of the pressure off of me. Like, I have to do this, you know? It's whatever. I can sort of remove some of my expectations for this experience by just being like, well, the time clock says I have to be done by this point, so I guess I better do it.
I think that this is one of the most helpful things that, with honestly most of these monsters, is I find myself running up against a wall. I find myself stuck because I'm putting too much pressure on whatever I'm trying to create. And so any way that I can alleviate that pressure, you know, get some perspective, whether it be understanding, just talking to myself and kind of understanding that in like a week, in a month, and a year, this project isn't going to really be consequential at all to how I'm feeling then. Like, go ahead and name the intricacies and the shittiness of like a project that was months ago, and even if you can be like, oh, it was so bad, like, is it affecting how you are right now existing? Probably not. Like, in the grand scheme of things, you don't think of it. It's not that important. So taking the pressure off and understanding that this is just a blip in the many beautiful things that you can create. And 2, like, understanding wherever you are in your journey of design and motion is fine, and you're growing, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to be there right now. You'll get there, and if you just trust yourself to get there, that also alleviates a little bit of pressure. It's just about like letting yourself kind of enjoy the creative process and taking off the pressure of this has to be perfect right away, or this has to be great now, or I'm not good enough because it's not great.
Most of the stuff,
let go of some of that.
It's just not that deep. We make pretty pictures for a living. Like, get over it a little bit, because there are so many other things that you could be worrying about, and you get to be here just making shit, you know? Like, that's a pretty great experience in the grand scheme of things. But we are humans, and we adapt to our circumstances. So, you know, if it's shitty within the circumstances, I get it. I'm not trying to be the pull yourself up by your bootstraps guy. Totally. Just a little smidge, you know? All right. That's the imposter syndrome monster. Fucking slain. He's gone. All right. What about, what one confuses you the most out of the ones I said? Because I definitely needed to explain at least 2 of them.
I think the ones that's going to confuse other people the most right now is the beach monster, because we haven't explained what the hell the beach is. There's the beach monster. Imagine, actually, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Go ahead.
Okay. You're in your creative process. You've been told by a client, or you yourself have total creative freedom. What do you do? There's so many options and opportunities. What direction do I want to head down? Which path in the forest is the safe one to travel? I don't know. This is scary, so I just won't do it at all. That's the beach monster. Because this is where you come in.
No, I got you. I was taking a sip of water. Because you have the entire beach, when in reality it's best to work in a sandbox. Constraints inspire creativity, and if you don't have any constraints, then sometimes the options and the limitless possibility of what could be is overwhelming and freezes you from making decisions in the first place. So start to build out your constraints. Start to ask, within what world does this exist? Where's the context here?
And for the beach analogy, if I were given the assignment of, here, make a sandcastle, and it's just the entire beach. There's no like marked off area to build the sandcastle or whatever. I am very much the type of person that, all right, I'm just gonna get down right now and build my sandcastle. I'm not trying to find the perfect place or anything. I'm just gonna start making one, and I think that is very conducive with my process.
That is very conducive
as well.
And we'll also show you very quickly, especially if you haven't really built a lot of sandcastles, where the best place to build a sandcastle is. Because let's say you're like up near the dunes, right? You have your beach, it's kind of like wet down there, and you're up near the dunes, and you start to build a sandcastle, and you quickly realize that you have to dig very deep to get wet enough sand to properly build a sandcastle. Like, you'll learn that very quickly, as opposed to if you haven't built a sandcastle and you're just wandering around the beach being like, I don't know, like, is this shelly stuff better? Is it better when it's wet? Like, you're just gonna have to kind of walk around and guess.
Yep.
Whereas if you just start to do something, you'll figure out very quickly if you're doing it wrong or if you're doing it right, or if there's a better constraint, if there's a better place to do it, if there's a better context here.
It's that tried and true visual of the person who chooses a path, regardless of whether it's like the best path for them or not. They're going to know so much more about that path rather than having minimal knowledge of like the dunes or the wet sand or the dry sand or whatever. Like if they're in a wet sand spot, like that's just where they decide to start, they're going to know so much more about wet sand than all the other people because that's their thing, you know?
Especially all the other people who haven't even started to build a sandcastle because they're just wandering around being like, is here a good spot?
I guess this could work, you know?
You're not going to know which path is the right one to take until you take one. So start walking.
There you go. That's the beach monster. Slain. Imposter syndrome and beach monster. Gone. Who's next?
Bang.
Who's next?
Kill the monsters with it. Next is the industry monster.
Ooh, you ready for the industry monster?
I'm ready for the industry monster.
We hate the industry monster. This is the one we conquered most recently, I think. And conquered might be a strong word, but at least heavily injured. Anyway, the industry monster is seeing all of your favorite studios and freelancers and their work and thinking, well, I can't match up to theirs, which is some imposter syndrome. Or it's thinking, well, I have to be doing what they're doing. Like, that's the mark. I need to make it there. First problem with that. They're already off doing their thing. If you start now trying to figure out how to do their thing, they're always going to be, however much time there was in between, ahead of you in that endeavor. So have fun playing catch up forever because they're always going to keep doing their thing. Other problem with that is that they already have their market. They have their people. Like they've got their people that they're working with, whatever. Like it's probably a little bit better to just establish yourself in doing your own thing. And I know we talked about how your own style isn't really a thing the other day. It's an emergent property of just making stuff. So maybe that journey of trying to like chase this North Star of I want to make work like this studio can be helpful in that regard. But I just wouldn't rely on that too far down the road. Like once we made that 500K last year and like started bringing some people on the team and whatever, it feels silly to me now to be like, well, our project doesn't look as good as ordinary folks, but I'm like, I have so many more things to worry about than this being some shit that like they would have made, you know? They hired us. It's really whatever. They could have gone and hired them if they wanted to. So why am I holding myself to those standards, you know? Mm-hmm. Also, Yeti just says, name 2 industry monsters. And he says, The Mill is a god agency. I'm in love with their productions. That's another way to take it. Industry monsters, I would say Buck in the Mill. Sure, that sounds good.
Buck in the Mill.
Buck in the Mill. No. Also,
the Mill do be doing some crazy stuff.
What up, Adriel? Glad to see you. Says that they found the channel a few days ago and remade the animation of the first live from scratch. Learned a lot doing it. Thanks so much. Greetings from Brazil.
Heck yeah.
Welcome. Did you tell Noah to get out? Noah, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out. Go away. Okay, no, but come back. No, but come back. There's more monsters to slay, dog.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's great. All right, Justin says Studio Monster can be really inspiring too, though, so he's like a cuddly monster, in my opinion. Fair. That's
true. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to make as good of work as the people that you look up to, but it's
wrong to be frozen by it.
The monster more comes out when it's jealousy. It's paralyzing, when it's like I feel like I need to make something for the industry, or like I need to make something that matches this like perceived level right away.
Yep. All right. I think we got one more? No, two more monsters to slay here? Okay. Who are they? Who are they?
We killed the industry monster.
We did.
With fire and brimstone. We got the advertising and the lazy one. Let's go with the lazy one first.
All right. That one's just kind of easy.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Realign with what you actually want in life, because usually,
if you're being lazy,
between that and refining your passion, if you're being lazy, you're avoiding something. You're probably scared of something. You're probably scared of like failure or something similar, and your brain just won't let you. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just gotta force yourself to do it. Sometimes you gotta check in with yourself, being like, what am I actually scared of here? What's the worst that could happen? And usually your brain will like try and give you distractions based on, your fears. Like, I'm scared about the potential social response, or I might not get enough likes if I make this thing and post it. And so instead my brain's gonna be like, go watch YouTube or something. But just like tell it to shut the fuck up and go do it. Go do it anyway. Go make the thing. Be like, listen, you can get mad at yourself. You can have a little conflict there with that like perceived monster, right? You can be like, whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna go do it anyway.
Yep.
Just to show you up, because I'm so fucking tired of this. And like, I get frustrated.
Gotta kick your own ass a little bit.
You gotta kick your own ass sometimes.
And I mean, I'll say that experience for me is usually like, I'll equate it to swinging in a jungle on vines. You go from tree to tree, that sort of thing. Not that I've done that in my life, but anyway.
Tarzaning?
Yep, Tarzaning. I will finish one scene on something, and if the next scene I even perceive as slightly difficult, I will sit there and play the scene that I just finished over and over and over and over and over again, dozens, if not hundreds of times before switching to doing the next scene, because I'm clinging to my tree. I got so comfortable with this tree. This tree feels so great, and I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the next tree, or like when it's going to get there. The analogy's falling apart. Whatever. I don't know when the next scene's gonna get done. I don't know how complex it's actually.
You don't know how stable, how fun that next vine's gonna be.
It could fall.
It's scary to grow and put all your weight on it and grab it right away. But you just gotta go with the flow and trust yourself there. And I will say another key thing here is momentum. If you care less about every little thing being just right or whatever, like, you can build up momentum. The more you do, the more momentum you have, the easier it is to make more things. You start making and making and making, and then posting and posting and posting. It doesn't really matter what you posted last week, because you posted like 3 times between then, and everything is just, it's less, and then yet you get more from it. And so it's just the way to go. Do more.
It's like
build that momentum.
That obstacle course thing where it's a bunch of rolling platforms attached to an axle, and if you just run straight across it, you're totally fine. But if you falter or second guess yourself or whatever, then you'll start rotating and like falling off. It's that same thing. If you just keep on going and going and going and swinging from tree to tree and whatever, then you don't really have time to think about whether it's going to work or not. You just gotta like machine it out, and to a certain extent, I will say that 99% of the times that I've been afraid of the next tree, that I've been afraid to swing and do the next scene and whatever, that could be taken out of context. That was, anyway. Every time that I've thought about doing that, and I've been a little scared of it, it has worked out. The scene was usually vastly easier, and I got it done way faster than I expected to. But part of that, I think, is just like, I expect things to take so long, and then whenever I actually do them, I'm just like, I get in my mode, my little animator robot mode, and I'm like, nope, actually, instead of 6 hours, that took like an hour. That was fine. It was okay. And then you do that enough times, and suddenly you don't really care about going from scene to scene anymore. You just kind of do the whole thing.
You got momentum.
Yep.
Trust yourself. Go with the flow. Keep going.
Yep.
You owe it to yourself.
So boom. Lazy monster slain. Slain, dog. Also in the chat. Cam DP, what's up? Yeti says, man, Reviews is a monster agency for someone that is starting, or even for advanced people. You're killing it. Well, thank you so much. Monsters. Okay, it's just me? That's fine. Anyway, Tristan Jung says hello. What up, Tristan? Fernando says the procrastin monster is friends with the imposter syndrome monster. Absolutely.
Yes,
the imposter syndrome monster is the ringleader of all of these.
Yep.
Truly.
It's the boss.
Cameron DeFreitas Penellan says, hi, how are you doing? I'm doing great. I've been slaying monsters all morning, so we're chilling. What up, Jeremy? Yeah, on the playing things over and over and over again. Good times HD, what's poppin'? Glad to see ya. Prolific beats perfect. I think that's entirely true. Did you tell Noah to have more energy in the talk today? Austin, where's the real Noah? Noah? Oh no.
I'll tell you why I have more energy.
No.
It's because I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to actually like really recover from my sickness. And also I've started doing little workouts in the morning. And so I've been up for hours.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely chilling.
Isn't it
I'm
nice?
listening to some good music. I've got a lot of energy. Austin didn't tell me shit.
No, I didn't say anything. I never tell Noah things these days. Anyway, what's the last monster we gotta slay here?
The last monster is the advertising monster.
Fast. Ooh, wait, okay, that's what it was. All right, similar to the industry monster, right? We've got the advertising monster that will, if we're not making personal projects, consume all of our client projects and make for horrible experiences for the people we're working with. Example, I'm not posting anything on social media. I've got this new project with a really big company, and to get more work, I feel like I need this project to go super, super well and look really awesome to post on my portfolio so that I could get more work from other people. You know what happens in those situations? I do. You constrict the process. You're so worried about it feeling like your design and being your project that you'll get to showcase that you end up like infighting with your client that's paying you money for this thing over like, no, this is the right decision. This is the right decision. I can't believe they just gave me that feedback. That sucks. It's so annoying. Why would they do that? Why? Stop that nonsense. Take that energy from a client project that you're not particularly enjoying or something and put that into a personal project that you have complete creative control over. Fighting with your clients is not going to make consistent relationships. I should know. We had that same sort of mindset for like the first year of Revi-ish. And definitely for a lot of the time I was freelancing because we just weren't making any other work. So everything had to be perfect to be able to post to get more content.
That's what personal projects are for.
That's what it's for. And you know what? Your client project doesn't have to be perfect. At the end of the day, it is their money and it's for their brand. If they want to mess it up in your eyes, that should be on them. Don't take that pressure and put it on yourself to make it this perfect thing.
If it's not too much work, that's what director's cuts are for.
Yep.
And also, on top of that, if you make a bunch of personal work and then more companies come to you for that kind of work, then all of a sudden, I mean, you got your means to an end. You're making the work that you want to make for your clients already because they come to you for it in the first place. So make personal work.
Ta-da! Yeti says Noah sounds like he's awake. Haha, just kidding.
Ta-da!
Gordo says, I've stopped resisting these monsters and just embrace them as part of the process rather than, I gotta defeat you. I try and see it like, oh, hey, I've only got 10 minutes for you today. Oh, I think that's just the way to defeat them, is just not giving them the time of day.
They're like bullies. You can't give them anything.
Yeah, if you just don't give them attention, then they have no power. Cameron says, you should post on social media, Austin. I'm hoping this is in reference to my tweet yesterday. Your work is great. Oh, no, it's just that I haven't posted things. Sorry, guys. I was supposed to have animated something last week to post, but instead I developed a subscription plan and also kind of got sick over the weekend. So,
oopsies. And it wasn't even from me this time.
Nope.
So.
It just happened. I don't know.
It's just his fault.
What up, Taylor? Anyway. How you doing? Those are all of our animation monsters, creative monsters, and if you can get past those, your work will be so fast because you can just, especially that momentum one, if you can just
build that momentum
and take that with the sandcastle analogy, start building, don't think about it too much, enjoy the process, figure it out along the way, and then just keep swinging from branch to branch, and you're totally fine. Kaike? I hope I said that right. Sorry. Please let me know how to pronounce that if I didn't. I'm doing a research for starting a studio, and review is one of my main inspirations. At the beginning of it, how do you guys deal with money? It was split by who worked with it or shared with everyone? When it was just me, Noah, and Chris originally, Chris was our other co-founder originally, we didn't save any money for the business. So I'd say avoid that at all costs. Make sure you're keeping revenue inside the business bank account. We would basically decide we would look at how many hours each person put into the project, and then we would each get that percentage of the revenue from that project. So if I put in 25% of the hours, I'd get 25% of the budget for that project, which was really shitty because, and not to throw Chris under the bus here, but there were times where I would take up 25% of the hours, but that's just because I'm a speedy boy, you know? And so I could do like a third to half of the animation on something and end up getting only 25% of the money for it, despite having contributed a lot more.
It also leaves the business with like no money.
There's no money at all.
No good. The business should have money.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the business be able to pay for things, and taxes are a whole thing. So
yeah.
It's nice to have an LLC or something to also protect you.
Want to just call it out for everybody now that we've got more people in here. There's a link down in the description. I'll also put it in the chat. We are going to be reviewing people's work today. You can submit your work in there. So look in the description. It should say reviewing your work with a little colon and then a Google form link.
Right.
Fill that out and we'll review your work. Ba, 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 ba. Anyway, back to chat for a second. Tristan
Real quick, Tristan says, I got you.
Okay.
Just dropped a project and it fully flopped. Kept posting. And moved on, trying not to care, and didn't even feel bad.
That's right.
That's right. Also, I have two little things to say about this. One, don't just post it on one social media.
All of them.
A bunch of them. Because sometimes, like I was posting a poster I did recently. I posted it on Twitter, on Reddit, on LinkedIn, and on Instagram. And like most of them, it was all right. Instagram was pretty good for an image. But LinkedIn went hard as fuck. LinkedIn blew it up, like more than the animations I did. And I was like, this makes no sense. You don't know where that crowd's gonna come from, but like it bound to be one of those platforms is probably gonna like it. Even TikTok might like it, especially if you do like a little process thing and keep it fun and snappy.
Yep.
Additionally, if you have a great piece of content, and this kind of applies more to like Reels or TikTok, if you have a great piece of content, if it flops one month, but you're like, nah, this is a fantastic piece of content, the hook's there, it's all great, post it the next month.
Yep.
And like you can post it multiple times and eventually like it'll catch on if you really believe in it. Like
especially
that's
if it's
a
like
solid technique. Like
YouTube or TikTok or something.
Yeah,
or LinkedIn
you can see
whatever.
Like cases of this shit of people being like, no, this is a great content. They've posted it like 3 times and then on the 4th time it went viral just because like it was great content and it never took off.
It just wasn't at the right time or something, you know?
Don't post it like back to back to back, but like give it a month, post it again. Fuck it.
Yep.
Why not?
Agreed.
If not enough people saw it, make them see it.
Also,
anyway.
You could post it here. Put it in the chat. Or not in the chat, in the link. Put it in the forum. Roy Boy Shaw was popping. Wasn't he in here earlier? He's just saying, hey, team now. What's up, team? Anyway.
What's up, team?
Yeti says, Gaike, are you planning to do it all on your own, or do you have a team? I'm gonna drop some hot opinions here real quick, okay?
Okay, go ahead. Drop it.
If you're running something by yourself, I don't think it's a studio.
Now,
Gasp. Okay. Let me give more context. If you're basically just freelancing under a separate name from your actual name, that's not studio to me. If you're bringing in other creatives and having them work with you, either that you're bringing in freelancers or you're hiring people on or whatever, I think that's a studio. Otherwise, though, I would just classify it as being a freelancer. I don't know. For years, I got really lost in the sauce of like, no, I'm running a studio or an agency or whatever. But then whenever people would come to my website or whatever, they could very clearly tell it was like just me. And that can just confuse your audience that you're bringing in. But anyway, there it is. Poof, that's my That's my hot opinion on that. Just Be honest. I've just seen too many people, including myself. I think it irks me so much just because I've seen myself do this so much. I started just going by my real name because that's like the uniqueness. I don't need to try and be something that like makes it seem like I'm more formal or something bigger than I was or whatever. But I don't know. Anyway.
My God, what a chat! What a chat today.
I know. Zaheen says,
Let's zoom in.
Austin, what's your height?
What's your height, Austin?
I'm basically like 4'11", plus a little extra.
Plus or minus a little bit.
I am
couple inches.
6'5", which I don't know what that is in meters. I'm sorry, but that's what Google's for, thankfully.
6'5".
6'5". Cameron says, do you do showreel review? Hey, I didn't say what kind of work you got to put in the critique. You can put whatever you want in there.
I would say that yes, indeed.
Go ahead. Tristan said, I only did Twitter and it had thin line work, so you can imagine what happened. Nah, man, put it everywhere, dog.
Put it all over everywhere. Put it everywhere. And in the Google form, because I want to see that. I like thin line work.
Yep. He says, Yeti, I have a bunch of friends that I want to gather so everyone can grow together. I have a solid freelance career for now, but want to help a lot of friends that don't have the same opportunity. I think that is a great idea. There are all sorts of different people starting collectives and things at this point. Ravi was almost exactly that until we decided,
wait a second.
No.
Nah. Let's make a actual company.
Let's just make a company. I think for us, a collective was just kind of hard to manage.
We didn't have like a bunch of people at the beginning, so it was like,
yeah, like what was the collective really from?
It just made sense to just go in that direction.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's just an LLC now. Cool.
Yep. Bastion says that's the whole point of a studio. Totally agreed. Yeti says Justin, send it again. Does allow you. Teelan says your metric system is messed up, guys. Isn't it you guys with the metric system? I'm pretty sure we're Imperial, but whatever. That's fine. Daniel says 1.95 meters tall. And Yeti says, I just sent my recent work to the critique form. We're all caught up. Noah, go. What's the other topic we're going to talk about really quick before we do critiques?
Do we have time to do that?
We do. Go, 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 go.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
Got to keep it speedy. Let's go.
I don't even have it up. I had so many other things up.
Nuts.
Oh my God. Y'all are sending memes in the chat. I can't even find it anymore.
I'm sorry. I couldn't just sit there and take that. So, you know. It's
talked about how we work quickly.
The inferred easiness of creative tasks when they're done well.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give a little context on this. We talked about this in the motion liftoff workshop yesterday too. I think you caught like the end of that a little bit, but essentially, I just think it's a funny experience when you have something like, all right, somebody gave a good example yesterday. You make a video in 16:9, right? Widescreen. Yeah. And then the client's like, ooh, actually we need it in 9:16 vertical instead. Can you just do that? Like, that should take like no time, right? And, you know, people would be like, what? No, I'm going to need some time to like resize things and make sure it's all proper and whatever. And, you know, but to the average person, because you are so used to websites that dynamically resize and those sorts of things, or apps or whatever, most people would probably just assume, well, that's how it works. You can just take the side bits and just squeeze them together and everything will nicely resize itself, you know? I think a lot of people take these things for granted and just don't realize how difficult they are. This happens in all sorts of different areas in motion for sure, but I also thought of it the other day when Noah and I were working on the Delight website at the beginning of the week to get it launched. And I remember having like so much trouble trying to troubleshoot all of the weird quirks and issues that come along with web layout and stuff and Webflow. And I was talking to Belle about it at the end of the day, and I was like, I finally got through all this stuff, or like this is being such a pain in the ass. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and this. And I mean, if you don't experience that frustration of going through building something out in Webflow or web design in general, like you just wouldn't know. But it's a lot of work for the person doing it, but to the normal person, it's like, well, everybody makes a website, so of course it must be easy. So her response was more like, well, I hope it works out, but it was kind of like a little bit of like well, it doesn't sound that bad. Like, it seems like it shouldn't be too crazy. And I'm like, I wish I could explain it. It's just...
the modern consumer is so inundated with high quality, beautiful advertising and web design and like so many great things that it's really easy to take it for granted. And to look at fantastic work and be like, that can't be too hard. There's so much of it.
Yeah.
But you just don't see how much money and how much talent is like in every single thing all around you. It's almost overwhelming to think of. Like just watching the TV and like looking at all the advertisements, especially when they're like high quality advertisements. Like even when they're not that high quality, but they're just shoots and stuff. I'm like, every one of those was like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Just for me to like glance at it for 30 seconds. Like it's just insane. It's insane. And so many talented people and there were a bunch of like client revisions and back and forth and blah, 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 just for this like tiny piece of content. Yeah. And that times like, you see that like 100 times a day. Like, oh my God, it's so easy to take this stuff for granted.
Oh yeah.
It's wild.
Well,
and even like as creatives, it can be like, you see other beautiful work, and this kind of goes back to the monsters. And you're like, oh, why can't I just do that? And it's like, no. There were years of experience behind the people who made this, and also more than just one person. And so it's easy sometimes to get lost in the like, why can't I just like make as good shit right away? Why blah blah blah? Or, like, is this so hard? It can't be that hard, right?
Yeah.
But like it is. There's so much experience that we just don't see.
And that's like entirely the reason why you get lots of like mom and pop shop startups that are just baffled with the pricing of creative and how much it sells for, you know?
Yeah.
The types of people I was working with on Twitter were like those exact businesses whenever I was first starting out, when I was in high school. And I mean, they were hemming and hawing over like $100 for a logo or something, you know? So imagine when they find out that there's like whole branding agencies that will charge like up like 6-7 figures for a branding pass or something, you know, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that sort of pricing either, even as a creative, but whatever. Somebody pays for it somewhere, and that's why the prices are what they are. Yeti says, guys, I have a question. What's the main pain point of a studio?
Consistently getting work.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Cash flow. That's really it. It's just trying to get rid of the ebb and flow, the ups and downs of projects coming in or the projects not being there, or making sure, like, it's really just the money part. That's it. Making sure you have enough money to continue growing it and be in a place of stability is the hard part. We're still experiencing that this year. Like, it's very slow to start the year, and we came off of the end of last year being absolutely nuts. We made, I think, double what we made in our first year just in the last 3 months of last year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's wild.
And so then to come into this year and like, you know, it's January business, or well, it's February now, but it was January. Businesses are trying to figure out where they're going to allocate their budgets and things, and the economy's kind of weird and whatever. So it's taken a second to calibrate, but you know,
it'll get there. And it's easy to lose faith, but you just gotta kind of trust, and then of course take it into your own hands a little bit. Do some fun new things.
Yep. Like we did with Delight. Anyway,
such a.
All right, shall we look at some work to critique? Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Holy
Hold on,
shit.
I can't.
Every time we're about to hop into something, we get something else. Also, I just want to say, don't worry if we don't get to critiquing your piece that you submitted today. We will be doing this every stream.
Don't worry, we do this every day.
It'll be there. We'll just keep going through the list. Rick says, charge these marketers for all that they're worth, IMO. The 95% of creatives, it's just a mean to an end for cool stuff. As long as they're paying, keep charging. True.
I guess.
Diana says, how old are you guys? Your work is awesome in this spaces too.
As old as time itself.
Noah hates this question. I don't know why. We're both 21. We're both 21. Hamza says, I want to see
you hate the height
stuff.
question. So.
Here we go. I don't hate the height question. I'll answer it.
Well, I don't hate the time question. The age question?
I don't know. You just seem very avoidant of it.
Yeah, you said you were 4'11", so.
Well,
let me have my joke answers.
Okay, that's true. That's fine.
All right, I want to see people's stuff too. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I got a screen share for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Whoa.
This is exciting. This is a new segment, y'all.
A new segment. All right, let me pull them up before I switch to it on screen, though. I'm just gonna go down the list. All right.
Beautiful.
We're gonna go through the top 3, I think, today. I don't know that we'll have a whole lot of time for anything else. All right, here we go. Switching on over to my view. This one is from Ayub. It's called Get a Room. I'm assuming it's for a company called Get a Room. Here we go, though.
Whether you're a weekend warrior.
That is so funny. Hold on. That's the track that Jackson just used for the Delight promo. Anyway.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, digital nomad, tourist, or strictly business, the search for a great hotel room at a great rate can be overwhelming. That's where Get a Room comes in. Regardless of your travel preferences,
it reads like
our
Guitar
platform
Room.
allows you to effortlessly search, review, and book the best hotel rooms in thousands of destinations across the world. If you call 1-800-HOTELS-8, our call center reps will match you with the best rooms at low rates in the markets of your choice. Want access to even lower rates and flash sales? Join our VIP program for free. Get a Room doesn't just save you money. We save you time, stress, and make your travel dreams come true.
All right, Noah.
I recognize that little box.
I do
I
as
recognize
well.
that little silly little box
from
thing.
his reel. It's from his reel, dude.
Cool. I like the box.
On the box in particular, though.
Go ahead.
What's going on here? What is going on with this rasterization?
That's a good question.
I'm a little surprised that made it in. There's got to be some way to. I mean, it's probably just because there's some like 3D or effect that's being used that you can't use continually rasterized, but I don't know. That really stood out to me.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought it was just like the playback of the screen share.
Nope.
I will say I like the little texture. I think it's fun. I think you use it really interestingly in some ways.
I wish it moved though.
I also agree with that.
Or like boiled or something.
One of the biggest things that I notice is some issues with easing in the way some animations kind of start, especially with the transitions right at the beginning between the different kinds of stays, different kinds of houses. Also, this first section kind of feels corporate Memphis to me. Right there, and then right there.
Wait, okay.
The easing could be a lot smoother. You see, those feel like linear keyframes at times.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I want that animation to be smoother so bad because it's very cool. You know what I mean? And so it's tricky.
I'd also please understand that all of this is just stuff we pointed out immediately because overall it is a good piece of work. You know?
Absolutely.
Like that kind of goes without saying, but whatever. Let's see. I get that this is the sort of style of the piece. You know, you've got the outlines of things and then the fills, but there are some places where it didn't quite feel as intentional, like this spot in particular. Like, I don't know, you kind of could have just filled that in. You know, there's like just
offset it more because it's still within the boundaries. You know what I mean?
It's like just the tiniest gap there that is kind of like,
and like you can see her shirt is outside of the boundaries,
right.
But that little section is not outside the boundaries.
Basically
so
in
there. It's just kind of awkwardly in there, but not.
Yeah,
and it hasn't fully filled it in.
What are some more conceptual things that we can give feedback on here?
The search for a great
conceptually.
Oh well, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was paying too much attention to the animation, but I don't know what the service does. That could just be that I was bad at watching it and I was too focused on the visuals. But
or strictly business, the search for a great hotel room at a great rate can be overwhelming. That's where Get a Room comes in.
Great.
Regardless of your travel preferences, our platform allows you to effortlessly search, review.
I do like the
amount
of like, you know, it feels like generally the full scene is moving, and some of those transitions are just really fun between like the entire scene changing into something else.
Want access to even lower rates and flash sales? Join our VIP program for free. Get a Room doesn't just save you money. We save you time, stress, and make your travel dreams come true.
Okay. kind of get what they do.
Yeah.
Some of the characters, they're, I don't know. I might just not be a fan of the characters.
I think that's more of just our personal stylistic thing. We're just not big character people. But that could also be like
I
a
like
client
the background
requirement.
stuff in these guys, though. I like that they're moving around
Yeah.
with the scene. Makes it feel a lot more alive.
There isn't a single point where I feel like there's not enough animation happening. You know? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being pulled from scene to scene and such.
The pool doesn't really come across in that last scene. Maybe I was just focused on other stuff, but
Oh. I just assumed there was a pool somewhere because of this.
I did too.
necessarily
I didn't
notice the
realize
pool.
that it was down there.
But it gets the vibe across, you know, of
Oh,
like
totally.
just the feeling to have from there. I wish that Vimeo had a looping thing.
All right.
Yeah. I feel like, well, okay, now I'm just gonna start to nitpick if I keep watching this over and over.
Okay,
again.
I got it.
Silly
The
things.
first scene starts kind of statically. It doesn't grab my attention a whole bunch because it's like slowly moving me from left to right. Next thing. Whereas if the whole thing shifted, like let's say we were scrolling through different types of characters, that would, I think, hold my attention and grab me a little bit more. And as the beginning of the video, the hook could have been a little stronger, is what I'm saying.
I think I wish that compositionally things were just a little bit more interesting. You know?
Yeah.
This design generally throughout the video is very much like, here's the thing, it's presented. But you know, you could have had so much more room to play with the visuals if you had like, if instead of this being, even if this was still a side-scrolling thing, if you've got this thing taking up like all the way from here to here, and then you've got like just the edge of this character like off over here, and then another one over here, and like that just gives you so much more room to like add other things in there, like more interesting, just like accents to the composition or whatever. It feels like everything is playing a little too safe within the margins, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I can see that. I think it's important to consider your composition throughout time. And in that first section, as it goes from left to right, it is a very left-heavy composition as well. And so that's part of it.
Like, this feels good.
Until it's filled in.
This feels like it lives in a world that's beyond the composition. But a lot of the other scenes feel like they could just live within their pre-comp.
Looking into
you know?
a little white box.
Yeah.
I like that transition. I think that one's fun.
I like the one where, and maybe it's this one, like the world pops out and then, yeah, that's really fucking
That's
smooth.
crazy.
That's amazing.
I like the map one. I think that's good.
Yeah. We should probably move on to the
All right. I like this one. Good work.
Thank you, Ayub.
Thank you, Ayub.
I hope that was
helpful.
that's so. Yep. No, I got it. There it goes. All right. This is Bastion. I guess I could have figured that out from there. My bad. Also, sorry. I shouldn't have doxed everybody's emails like that. My bad. That's fine.
Démontrez votre expertise à vos prospects ou clients et démarquez-vous de la concurrence. Enco a créé pour vous N-Quality. N-Quality, c'est le nouveau label qualité qui vise à promouvoir les meilleurs transporteurs. En y adhérant, vous entrez dans un univers qualité et bénéficiez d'un accompagnement tout au long de votre démarche pour améliorer et développer votre activité plus sereinement tout en valorisant votre entreprise sur le marché du transport.
Oh.
Le fonctionnement est très simple. Le label se compose de deux statuts, N-Quality et N-Quality Premium, que l'on peut obtenir directement en ligne. Le statut N-Quality promeut les transporteurs d'excellence et le statut N-Quality Premium est réservé aux meilleurs d'entre eux. Simple et rapide à utiliser, N-Quality vous propose une mise à jour annuelle ou à votre initiative si vous souhaitez réévaluer votre score, le tout en quelques clics. Dans le respect de la protection des données, tous les documents demandés seront cryptés et sécurisés. De plus, Enco informe les donneurs d'ordre partenaires avec qui vous travaillez déjà de votre inscription à cette nouvelle démarche qualité. La diffusion ou pas des données vous concernant reste sous votre contrôle exclusif. Seul votre statut N-Quality ou N-Quality Premium est automatiquement communiqué. Félicitations, vous voilà adhérent au label. Vous vous distinguerez plus facilement grâce au logo N-Quality présent sur tous vos documents, vous valorisez vos prestations et gagnez la confiance de vos clients grâce à cette nouvelle démarche. Parce que votre expertise mérite d'être mise en avant, N-Quality accompagne les transporteurs les plus exigeants. Pour tout renseignement, contactez votre interlocuteur Enco ou écrivez sur quality@encotransport.com.
Is that Ariel? Ariel?
I don't know. All right. I have
N-Quality Pro. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Now I have
a list of things.
You have a list.
I have a list of things. I'm gonna make sure I bring my notebook in for when we do these, so that I can really have all my notes written down.
All right, that's fair.
Here's my things. I'll go through really quickly so that we can get to the other one as well, and then still get through some of our recs. All right.
All right.
Style consistency. Too much information. Static, linear, and flat style can kind of feel old and outdated. Also, it is too literal. Live action works better for that. I'll go into these points. All right. Okay. Style consistency. Beginning, we've got like some texture on this guy, but it doesn't quite.
It kind of looks like a bird kind of shit on him.
Yeah, but more generally, everything else is like straight lines and stuff. And so when this like kind of colored pencil, like crayon drawn thing comes in here, I'm like, where are we? You know, like it doesn't feel like it matches the visuals we were just looking at. Too much information, especially on this section. That's a lot of stuff to be looking at there. This very well could have been something that the client asked for. I know they do these sorts of things where they're like, well, we got to show the differences between this one and this one. But like, holy crap, that's a lot of stuff to have to take in there, you know? Which gets me to another point that I think comes off of that. Generally, I think motion design serves a purpose of abstraction. It delivers on explaining things that you couldn't see in camera, right? So, in my opinion, I think something where you've got like a character doing normal things like sitting at a desk or being in a car or those sorts of things, you can just get footage to communicate that. Why go through all the extra effort of having to try and make this character and communicate these things when it is so much easier to just go and film that or get stock footage or something, you know? Mm-hmm. What makes sense for motion in this context, at least in how the video is laid out, is the things like the graphs or showing the software portal and some extra like effects and things. But I don't know. I feel like everything is just a little bit too much the thing that it is at the moment, you know? It could...
You went one-to-one. It's too literal.
It's just a little bit too on the nose. And then also, I don't know if you're in charge of design on this or if it was just animation. I know that can be a tricky dance. But this sort of style, not that you have to be like doing what everybody else is doing now or whatever. That's not what I'm proposing. But this was a very, very popular style. Like mid 2010s, like 2016, 2017, sort of flat, desaturated color compositions and things. It just doesn't.
It's very corporate.
It doesn't scream high budget, you know. And the linear. I feel like the easing on a lot of stuff here is just a little bit too just like keyframe without a whole lot of time spent in the graph. I also realize I probably sounding really brutal at the moment, but I hope that's helpful. I'll be Simon Cowell.
I think it would be a disservice to parse our words on these critiques. Because
I think so too.
People ask for critique, we'll tell you exactly what we're feeling.
There you go. That's the review way.
Coming from people who do motion design. That's what's up.
But that covers all my thoughts for this.
I think you pretty much covered it. I would say especially the colors. Like there was a section with the truck later in the video, if you could find that.
Oh yeah.
Where that contrast between the ad, the logo, given it is a complex logo and it's kind of at a small scale, and that orange does not work because those colors are too similar in value. So watch your colors throughout this whole thing.
Yep.
Its back wheel is just floating.
Especially for this shot, there definitely could have been different ways to visualize this. You know, like there could have been some shots to break this up where you like zoom in on specific parts or cut to like zoomed in shots of specific parts of the dashboard or something. I don't know. But just sitting there looking at the UI is not, I don't think it's really communicating a whole lot or keeping the viewer engaged. There's that.
Okay.
Thank you, Bastian.
I think you covered it. Thank you for submitting. I appreciate you.
All right, here we go. This one is from Florin. Sorry, I can't make it full screen, but there is also no sound on it, so don't worry about the sound either.
That transition is just very smooth between the square and the ball.
Wish that there was a little bit more done design-wise to the gradient, especially on that ball. It just... I mean, I'm a motion designer, so I can just tell it's a radial gradient, you know? You just said, like, this color in the middle, this color on the outside, and that was it. Like, it didn't really seem like it was adjusted at all, you know?
It's kind of hard to explain this, and this is, like, usually a qualm I have with a lot of work is, if I can tell exactly what is happening, I need it to, like, immediately, if I can be like, oh, that's just a radial gradient right there, and it's not even moving. Like, I don't like that. I want to not be able to kind of tell how you did things.
Hide your cable management, you know? Hide the wires.
Cable management. Like, a lot of these gradients don't really move. They move a little bit, which I appreciate, but they're just linear and they just kind of go down and up. And I feel like either that could work a lot better with some more complex gradients, or there's another solution to it.
Also, what up, Monday's Challenge? How you doing?
What's up? Yeah, this one's kind of short. I don't have a whole bunch of things to say.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to critique because it's... I don't know. One of the other things technically that I can say... There probably is some... Yeah, there's a little bit of motion blur. But we just don't like motion blur. Future note.
That's personal preference.
Just,
I don't like
you know. It stops too long here, I think. It would... If you can get that loop to happen and have it feel just super like it just continues and you can't actually tell where it stops, that's the sign of a really great loop, I think. This in particular is really catching my attention each time. As this orb floats around, I can see the path of the motion with my eyes. And what I mean by that is like, oop, I can see when it starts moving the other way right there. Doop, like smooth that arc out of that path.
Bevel your keyframes.
Smooth that out.
Bevel them, the motion paths. Yeah, I noticed that too.
This first bit though, like here to here, motion is great.
I like that.
Feels really, really smooth.
Yeah. I would want more things to happen during it too, just really emphasize, because it feels good. It feels good.
Agreed. All right. Shall we wreck it up? Shall we wreck it, Ralph?
Let's wreck it up. Logan asks, what do you think of the new Apple advertisement for the HomePod? Also, what tools did they use to do that? Are you talking about the one with all the like particles all everywhere? Because if you're talking about that one, I did see that one, and I think that they did some really interesting, unique things during that. But a lot of the particles make me go, ugh. It's kind of uncomfy. But anyway, let's get into the Rex, shall we?
That's funny. All right. I'll go first.
You go first.
All right, here we go. The boys are at it again. Jordan Scott and crew, same people that made that beautiful buck animation that we showed the other day, made this cool NBC logo ident, and it's just fun colors. Like I saw this at first, and then it came up with NBC, and I was like, I wasn't expecting it to be something corporate. Honestly, I thought that this was just somebody's personal project that looked super cool.
It's pretty. I like the subtle gradients in the background.
Really pretty. It's
kind of Hulu-esque.
Just feels really good. The only thing that I could say about this is that I wish it didn't start on black, because then whenever you get into black, it doesn't really feel like it's a different world per se, you know? It feels like if we started out in white or something and then got in there, it's like, oh, ooh, now we're like inside the thing. We're peering into this, you know?
I like that piece of feedback. That's nice.
But otherwise, obviously, it's really fucking cool. So, also, I wish it had some sound on it. I can hear like the NBC jingle, like the dun dun dun, but I also don't know how well that matches up with this necessarily.
Yeah, it's cool.
I could see it working though as the tunnel's going by. It goes dun dun dun, and it's kind of like reverberant. But it like every time that happens, the colors of the of the things change, you know, on hold keyframes.
You do a little audio editing to make it go, to make it go don don don.
And then it.
That would be cool.
That'd be so cool. Hey guys, hit
us.
us up. We should work on this together. That sounds fun. All right, thank you, Jordan Scott. This is from Brian G Motion on Twitter. Also, all the links will be put in the chat right after the stream. Just fun colors. Very, very much like something that Ricardo would do as well. Very much something like Ricardo Agostinelli would make. It's just fun, low frame rate shapes. I can't complain. Having a good time. I
love it.
I don't quite understand the concept of childhood games, but also I know I've made a billion loops at this point that I wouldn't probably understand the word at the end either. So,
childhood games.
Fair play.
Interesting. It reminds me, like the circles at least, remind me of like playing Sorry or something with my brother when I was little.
Playing Sorry?
Yeah, like you got your 4-color pieces and you move them around the board. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it could be like balls and chips or something.
It might be like that game where you like push down on the like little coin guys and they bounce up and you try and like I don't know what it's called.
Connect 4? This could be Connect 4.
Oh.
This is like the side view of all of them stacked up and then they're like sliding into place in the back.
I think this is what they wanted. I think it's just kind of reminiscent of a lot of games.
That's cool.
You use 2 coins and you like push down on one and it like bounces and you're trying to get it to a certain spot.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. That's what it reminds me of.
Also, sorry, y'all. I didn't know these didn't have sound. My bad. Now this one has sound.
Oh my god.
And it's just like goopy eggs. I don't know. It just feels like
it's so goopy,
so
dude.
squishy, and I love the color treatment.
I love the
so
faces.
fucking cool.
They're great.
Like it doesn't really serve much of a purpose or anything. It's just a really cool R&D test or something. But it's just, I can tell how that would feel in my hand, and it would be so fun to just sit there and squeeze. You know?
It's so tactile. I love the renders where you feel like you can just touch it. You're like, I know exactly how that feels.
And like the color changing based on like the elevation of the like squishiness, I guess. It just feels so. Oh, I don't know. I could watch it forever. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great one.
And I'll find the actual link for this one, not just this like whatever. I can't come up with the word for that right now. Not just the page that's posting it.
Good Rex. Good Rex, dude.
You just let me know when you got your Rex pulled up, and I'll switch on over to you.
Oh, I got my Rex pulled up.
Oh, they already followed me. That's really fucking cool. Okay.
Oh, that's such a cool thing.
They worked on.
I got my Rex pulled up.
Like all of the emojis for Microsoft with Tendril as well.
Oh, those are cool. That's awesome.
Very cool.
What a talented fellow.
Very cool. Of course, a classic.
A classic. This one's quick little ordinary folk piece. I'm not going to put on the sound. I think it's copywritten.
Probably, yeah.
But they've got some fun little transitions here. Not everything has to be a crazy match cut. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's just smooth.
Just kind of like, I don't know. It's smooth. It's cute. It's simple. I like the little grainy bits. They got some cell. They got some regular 2D. It's a little bit of 3D first perspective stuff. It's just a cute little item. Keep on riding a bus.
Keep on riding a bus.
Keep on riding a bus.
Screw bikes. We ride
this
buses
next
here.
one, you've probably seen it.
Oh,
this
I forgot about this one.
By some very talented.
Oh, hell yeah.
People. Y'all ready for this?
Wait, hold on. You're not sharing with me, so I can't get the
sound.
Oh
my god.
You gotta do it because this sounds like one of the best parts.
I gotta do it. This sounds the best part. You gotta do it.
It is.
All right. There it is. Make sure that my stuff's paused. All right, here we go. Here we go,
I'm on
y'all.
it now.
Oh, this is the other video.
But it's still delicious.
Yum.
Hold on. I don't have your stream super loud, I don't think. Oh, it's just turned down. That's all.
This one's pretty quiet.
It's so satisfying, though. The materials are just delicious.
Come on, man. That's so cool. So they did a couple little loops, and here are the specific loops. This one's my favorite.
Because, oh my god, how could it not be? The colors, the sound, just...
I love it when it hits it and it gets glass and everything big. Oh my god.
It's just so delicious. So delicious.
Ah, so good.
So
The other
good.
one.
Sweet Caroline.
This one.
Kind of gives me samurai vibes, that thing in the center.
A little bit. I love the kind of Super Mario Galaxy gravity kind of thing that's going on towards the end. They roll away and then, yeah.
I just love the things turning into long rectangles and stuff. It's so satisfying.
The third one bounces. This one's full of tension. Boing. Oh my god.
Such
crazy.
Fun sound effects, dude.
2D animation. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's just a cool project. I love it.
What
Anyway.
a beauty.
Between 2 and 3. Those are my Rex.
Those are
two
his
little fellas.
Rex.
And
those are my
the
Rex.
show,
That's
baby.
the show for the
Oh
day.
my god.
We
Thank
got through
you,
some fun, cool
everybody.
stuff. Thank you guys for submitting your work for critique. We will continue critiquing tomorrow and looking at more Rex and talking about fun industry things as per usual on the Daily Motion Show. Be sure to use hashtag Daily Motion Show in your social posts on social. Or
Thanks
tag
for
me
hanging.
or Noah.
Thanks for hanging.
And we just might showcase them as Rex.
That was a really good one today.
I agree. And on that note, get the hell out of here!
Go make some motion or something. Go post some stuff. Go fight some monsters. Oh my god.
Get out of
Bye.
here! Bye! 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 Bye!